Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
There was an email that went around a while.
Yeah,
ago.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. And I'm assuming that the shared notes on that are with the next one, 5.5?
Sure.
Billboard for Jesse Isles.
Yep.
Okay, I can't seem to. Oh, there's nothing there.
No.
I thought there was a quote for a price. I saw a quote somewhere.
There is.
Yep.
Yeah, underneath.
You're on the right attachment.
A little attachment underneath it.
Oh, there, look at that. Look at that. I think that's where your note came in, Brian, was on that
Yeah,
one?
that, sorry about that.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
That's the one I didn't understand about that.
So I think if I read this right, it's going to cost us $3,000 plus taxes. And that'll be all design work and construction included. Does that include installation?
That wouldn't include
Yeah.
installation, that would be our employees that would install it.
Yeah.
Our employees would do that? Okay. So does anybody have an issue with that price?
Seems reasonable.
I think it's quite reasonable.
And we're taking the money from, because this is something we didn't budget for either.
Well, you can't budget for a curling game.
Yeah.
Uh,
I agree.
You know, so not sure where we'll get that money, but see what you can find in the cookie jar.
There's some
I'm
rocks.
calling the CDC.
Crumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the community enhancement, I think that's part of
That's
it.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is community enhancement for
Yeah.
sure.
I just want to make sure that we're going to get to have a look at some designs
Yeah,
before.
yes, absolutely.
We can email that rather than
Make sure your
waiting and
pictures
coming
are
back for
there.
meetings. Would be easier, please.
In the corner.
Okay, 5.6, Grey Cup funding request.
So we received a letter from the TPCRC, Krista Tooley, and it has to do with her and Amber bringing the Grey Cup here on October 19th.
An election day?
Yep.
Today, too, yep.
They weren't given a choice for a date.
No, no.
They contacted us and said, this is something we're going through your community, what do you want to do? Krista contacted the town. It's a $500 request.
Sure.
Can I just?
Again, we don't have a budget amount for that, but if we decide, I do have some under my budget that was allocated for things like this, or
If I get to drink out of it, I'll pay $500.
apparently we got a
I'm
sponsor.
joking. I'll pay a portion of it. Let's put it with Jim.
Sorry, what was
I've
that?
already drank out of it. I don't need to drink out of it.
What was that, Crystal?
I
Sorry.
just think that we should somehow incorporate the schools. Like, I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
that
we're
they're
doing
doing
that
that
too.
at
Yeah.
Legion, but the kids are going to be in school all day, and it's kind of a big deal for them. So, if they could, I don't know. I'm sure like the schools could rally together and.
Kathy through the CDC,
Yeah,
because we
she's-
involved them in this, and she's going to be sharing it with the schools.
They may not get to actually see the Grey Cup, but they want them to like do drawings and pictures and stuff.
Yeah, but I think we should let them see the Grey Cup.
They won't move, they want that, they're from here from 9 till 12 and that is it, and they're
Well, I know,
gone.
but like, I don't know.
Here's-
I think
bust
if
them in.
if you talk to the school
That's up
division,
to
it
the
would be
school.
easy to get all the kids in one location for it. Like, I don't know. I just think that. I mean, it's awesome that the veterans and stuff are going to get to see it, and whoever shows up at the Legion. But I think like to the kids, it would be a bigger deal.
Yeah, but that's
We can
gonna be
make
up to
the request.
schools, right? Like,
Yeah.
If you had it at the
Well, I
wellness
think it's
center,
just a time
all the kids
thing.
could walk, right? There's 3 schools within a block. I
It's
don't know.
not necessarily our
Our
pony
show.
show is part of the issue,
Yeah.
but we'll see what we can do if they'd consider it.
Right?
Yeah, I was wondering, like this is as a recreational activity, and we're doing it outside of our recreational facilities. To me, it doesn't. I didn't realize it's close to the train station, but it's still. I'd rather see it done at our facilities than not, and that might put it closer to the schools. Especially if they're talking about jumpstart donation again, it'd be good if
So-
it's in our recreational facility.
Do we know what the total cost of bringing this Grey Cup here, and how come our share is 500? Do we know any?
It's just because we're hosting and doing a few little things.
It wasn't our show.
Yeah,
It was our show?
no.
Not our show.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
That's
what
why I'm
hearing.
saying I'm kind of a little bit hesitant on telling them what they're going to be doing, because I don't want them to just say, you know what, because they're going to Flin Flon too. I don't want them to say, yeah, whatever, we're going to go to their community then.
Well, I don't mean like go in and tell them what to do, but I mean, talk with them and see if, like, because obviously the idea of the Legion came from somewhere, and I'm assuming it didn't come from them, so it got thrown
No
out
idea.
by TPCRC or whoever, so instead of them going to the Legion, like, why couldn't we do it at the arena or the wellness center? And if the Legion still wants to do like a breakfast or whatever, I'm sure they could use the kitchen there and.
All we can do is ask by all means.
I'm pretty sure that Amber and Krista will have probably had this discussion and many others already, and really they've asked for $500. We just have to decide if.
I think that's where we're at on this, yeah.
The Grey Cup's coming to the block, give them like $500 and
Did
we're
it one or
ready to
two
go.
pennies, they want
I'm
the
sure
$500.
I have a great
2
cup
cents,
story
I
to
should
tell
say,
you one
yeah.
day.
I'm sure they'll figure out something that's really great.
And I do have money under mine.
Okay, well, let's,
Okay.
okay,
So no resolution.
You don't need a resolution, I can do it under my money.
okay, thank you. All right, 5.7, we have 2 items there. We have request and directive forms. So, as you will recall, we're trying to streamline things on how things arrive to council's table. And so, there's a request form, and then there's a directive form. And so they've been designed, they've been built, and it's time to implement them. We've talked about them quite a few times, and so there they are in front of you. What's the issue? What's the information?
What do you want to start? Do you want to start October? Do you want to start New Year?
Yep.
How do you want to do this?
Ready to go right now.
Department heads ready to rock and roll on this? Let's move on this, eh?
Might as well do it now.
Everybody says
Get
okay with
everybody
that?
used to it.
Since we're
Yep,
getting
let's go with it.
going through
Yeah.
changes.
It's a learning curve, we'll see
Yeah.
where it goes, like, even the last week has been a learning curve with not having committee meetings, so.
Yep.
Yes.
We'll do the October, we'll
We'll
start
see
with
how it
that.
all goes.
It's just like starting a new job.
That's right.
Well, there we go. That's not for you, though.
You seem to know a thing or two about that.
All right, 5.8, delay of tax sale.
So, a notice was missed by tax service, so the tax sale can happen on November, whatever it was
Yeah.
gonna be. We don't know when it's gonna happen, but just know that it's not happening November, whatever it was.
We need a resolution.
What had happened is we
Oh, we
hired
need
outside
resolution,
parties
sorry.
to do this on behalf of the town of the Paw, the whole
Yeah,
tax sale.
yeah.
Again, they missed a notice, so we can't continue with that date. So because we passed it by resolution to say, here's our new date, we have to pass a resolution that say it's postponed until further notice.
Okay.
Once we get the new date, then,
Okay, just
Yeah.
postpone until further notice.
yep. And then once we get the new date, we set it again.
Okay.
All right, 5.9, the sustainable forest management. We've received minutes and a letter. Want to talk on that, Brian?
Oh yeah, this was an issue that just came up. I've looked at repaps or tocos. Geez, I got to
Well,
the-
it's
Well,
Churchill
well,
Forest
well,
Industries in
yeah.
there too, we'll hit all four.
I started at the beginning.
Churchill Forest
I was
Industries.
gonna say, yes,
They've
we
done
might.
that. So we've got the Sustainable Forest Committee meets this Thursday. So I'll get more information. I don't know what kind of implications there may or may not be with these changes, or if there's any issues that might have an impact that we would want to be aware of given our current situation. So I just wanted to put this out there for information, and the plan is on the website if you want to have a look at it. So I just wanted to bring it to council's
Okay.
attention, and I'll report back after the meeting as to
Okay.
any new
So
information.
it's for information purposes then? Okay. Good, nice to see.
Yeah. Oh, I had a question.
Sure.
Well, for stuff like this, is there any way in our documents file on our system that we can park some of these things for reference for future, or?
You can put it in reports. We could set up something that
Yeah.
says this and put your reports in there.
That's,
Yeah, I was just thinking that sort of stuff where we're sitting on a committee and then it's got nowhere to go, and then it just sort of gets.
There's a file on here called documents that you
Yeah.
could probably put it in there, I think.
Yeah, okay.
And you
How-
could
how-
reference,
how do
like,
I
have
get
a
it into the
sub-file?
sys- How do I get it into the system, I guess is.
You can contact either Jen or myself and we can put it into the
Oh, okay.
documents as admin.
Okay, good.
Okay. 5.10, Sam Waller Museum, closure of museum. Is that what?
The museum will be closed from October 1st to October 9th for staff training and vacation, and they'll be back to regular hours on October 13th, and we need a resolution.
Okay,
Just confirming that.
This went through their board.
yeah.
We have one employee that has resigned from the position at the museum,
Yeah.
so therefore it leaves just one person who has already been very successful in obtaining funding to attend the conference in Winnipeg, and I'd hate to see that opportunity lost.
Absolutely. It's not exactly prime museum season anyway.
No, thank goodness.
Okay, and then 5.10.2, appointment of a board member.
Stan Wilson has been appointed to the board till
Excellent
December
choice.
31st, 2016, and they just need a resolution from us.
Perfect, excellent, excellent person. All right, 7.1, airport airside, geocache, a request to use the town property of the airport. I didn't read the shared notes.
Basically, we had a request, and as you can see with the picture, I had no idea what a geocache thing is, so as you can see from the email, I think there's no problem from the airport manager to permit them to use the site. However, I think we need any other agreement like we have with anyone else about liability and stuff like that. So that'll be forthcoming. We'll draft up an agreement and pass a resolution to approve the agreement.
Okay. Just for information purposes, geocaching is using GPS systems and coordinates to find
I can't.
hidden tiny things. Yeah, do it yourself.
So do you have an issue with that?
I don't. I think
The airport
it's a great
manager
thing.
didn't, so. Okay.
All right. One final thing then before we adjourn. I said this before the meeting started, so it's fair that I say it during the meeting. I went to the Parade of Programs on the weekend, and it was full of people, lots of people. It was like going to the floor of the stock market. There was so much money trading hands. And then I noticed that out front of the arena when I left, there was a bunch of kids who were just looking like they just really had nothing to do. And I thought, isn't that interesting? Probably can't afford those programs. So I'm wondering.
That's because all their parents were inside volunteering at the tables.
That's a possibility too. But I'm wondering what is out there, what is available for barrier free, and I thought we'd probably look at our youth counselor to take that chore on. Have a chat. Let's get some information before us about what sort of things that can be done, what is possible, and maybe we can look at doing that as a suggestion. But I just think that's something you could sink your teeth into, and do something for the kids who can't go inside those doors and pay for those programs. Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn there, Deputy Mayor?
Be it resolved that we now do move ourselves into the in-camera portion of the committee of the whole with Mayor Scott and Chair to discuss matters requiring our attention.
I'm on here making a comment. I know we can do it.
I did, I was like trying to be
That was good.
the way it's.
That was
Tree
good.
planting. Do you know exactly where it is behind the wellness center?
Right behind the
Right
Wellness
behind it?
Center, yeah.
Okay. Because the Girl Guides were wondering that too. And I'm like, I don't know. I just know it's behind the wellness center.
I think Margaret's coming to that.
Where's that? Sorry.
Right behind the Wellness Center, we're planting trees on the
Yes,
weekend?
we are.
It's
Yes.
Sunday, right?
It's Sunday, yeah.
Yeah,
Sunday or Saturday?
Sunday.
one of those days.
Sunday.
What time?
Saturday, I can't. Yeah.
8
Bring your shovel.
on a Sunday?
Can't do it
Yeah,
on Saturday,
shovel.
I'm working.
No.
Like hate trees?
I have no idea.